that we showed from the sky, the so-called sky cam there, is out of bounds, but that is in a very tough spot because it's right in the lane.
Sims drops it in to Roberts, and the ball is knocked free by Williams, the impressive freshman for Notre Dame.
Nice help by Williams. Roberts is so strong. He doesn't get many blocks from behind. He'd like to have that ball again, and I guarantee if he gets it next time, he's going to wheel to try to dunk.
With Robinson in foul trouble, Towers starts the second half. O'Neal comes free as Ellis slips to the floor. 11 points for Shaquille O'Neal.
Back to that 2-3 zone. Jackson and Williamson out top. And again, I think it's smart to work that side where Stanley Roberts. Try to set some screens over there. Sims gets out a little better.
Ellis into the paint area. LSU ball. So against Digger Phelps, LSU will have the ball here to start the second half. They lead the Irish by 12.
Well,
and I believe Lavanzo Ellis has come over to one of the officials and asked for the boys with the towels to come out there. Yes, indeed, and dry the floor off. So they've really got a water problem here.
That could be a real problem. The scene that we showed from the sky, the so-called sky cam there, is out of bounds, but that is in a very tough spot because it's right in the lane.
Sims drops it in to Roberts, and the ball is knocked free by Williams, the impressive freshman for Notre Dame.
Nice help by Williams. Roberts is so strong. He doesn't get many blocks from behind. He'd like to have that ball again, and I guarantee if he gets it next time, he's going to wheel to try to dunk.
With Robinson in foul trouble, Towers starts the second half. O'Neal comes free as Ellis slips to the floor. 11 points for Shaquille O'Neal.
Back to that 2-3 zone. Jackson and Williamson out top. And again, I think it's smart to work that side where Stanley Roberts. Try to set some screens over there. Sims gets out a little better.
Ellis into the paint area. LSU ball.
Get a call. I guess he felt that he kicked that ball with his foot. Now what happened here? Digger's hot, and the reason he's hot is because that referee he was hollering at blew the whistle, and then he didn't follow through with the call. That's in the spot.
You know, I thought I heard just a trace of a whistle.
Now Digger, the official realized he made a mistake. Digger going to let him have a piece right now.
So it is 44-28, and the Tigers come out and do 2 quick field goals.
49ers, Broncos, Super Bowl 24.
It's a quiet afternoon in Ford County.
Flossie shopping?
Yep, she said she had a fistful of coupons. Said she's going to get $5 back.
That's nothing. Guy up the road is getting hundreds back.
On grocery?
Oh, nope, on a new Chevy truck. But with cashback incentives, the benefits of purchasing now grow exponentially over the term of the contract.
Cashback. No wonder people from Ford prefer Chevy trucks. Nobody's winning like the heartbeat of America. Today's truck is Chevrolet.
Did you know, due to overwhelming demand, AT&T has added more time to sign up for our Pro Watts offer. And with our lower price, now any business spending $50 or more a month can automatically earn bigger and bigger discounts, making AT&T's prices extremely competitive.
Well, here is the man who invented basketball as far as Louisiana is concerned.
Gentlemen, don't let them in this game. Make a commitment, all right? Come on, dominate. Rebound now. Rebound, Chris. Rebound, Wayne.
You know, if we keep using Dale with this mic, he's going to be a Saturday Night Live character. What do you think?
Yeah, after we send him an after film. It's about time we get him to contribute to our fun.
That's right. And they're back in that 2-3 zone. Notre Dame has got to figure out a way to score. They keep setting screens and running people through, trying to get the score on the wing, and there it is again, and they can get it off the Stanley Roberts side.
Really, they've only hit 2 of their last 12 for the field going back to the first half. So they are really not getting the job done offensively right now. It is so hard to get the ball in on the inside, and when you do, it's the big fellas who just hold forth. Now there, Williams, and he just missed a shot. He was wide open. Now it's Chris Jackson in an open floor looking to come in.
Double pump. See, I think that's what they can do to Notre Dame. Notre Dame's sending everybody to the board, so break Jackson long and set him up in those one-on-ones. Even if it's a semi-break, he'll score.
This one's getting out of control.
Tower needs to take that shot when he's open. The zone is packing in further and further to keep LaFonso Ellis from getting the offensive opportunities. You can see Jackson and Williamson are now inside the foul line.
Well, has Ellis been rather passive?
Well, I think he's just a smooth ball player. I mean, he's got a power body, but he plays smooth basketball.
Tower has it knocked into his hands, and he draws the foul, so he'll come up and shoot a pair of free throws. Well, let's take a look at Chris Jackson, what Billy was telling you about in the open court on this double pump move. When he finds himself one-on-one, and they thought he was going to come to the left, he prefers to come that way, and he pulled out and stepped into the right.
And, you know, there was a case where Singleton played great defense on him. I mean, that wasn't a guy that got faked out. Singleton was right there, and Jackson just created something.
46-28.
Chris Jackson's a great high school coach. Bert Jenkins retired after 28 years. This guy won 7 state crowns, won 40 or more games 3 times. Stepped aside. And Notre Dame just finding this dome, and they've been successful in domes this year. They played well in Indianapolis in the dome, so it shouldn't be something they're not used to, but they have grown cold here.
This is enough to make you put the carnation back on.
And, you know, being an independent, they have got to get some breakthrough games against major opponents when it comes down time looking for NCAA tournament pick.
I think they've still got a meeting with Duke and Cameron. Georgia Tech goes into South Bend. 2
and
tough
at
games.
Syracuse, you know, not a kind of place that you count on picking up many wins. Picking up a little higher.
Jackson with that quick start off the double team, short as he forces that one up on the left baseline. And the Irish looking to catch fire here. Jackson pulls up, missing. Frederick battling, and Jackson comes away for LSU.
Good pass.
2-on-1. Williamson almost ran back in by Roberts. Instead, it's O'Neal.
O'Neal having a great game. He's asking the crowd to start cheering. He wants people in the game. I think he doesn't realize it, but what's taking the fans out of the game is how methodical they've been in just shutting Notre Dame down defensively. But they can run on Notre Dame, but Notre Dame really packing everybody to the boards. I think we've just seen the beginning of the running game coming up. Hard to throw the ball on the baseline past a guy with size 17 sneakers. Roberts just put the foot out.
17, folks.
It's like Bob Lanier out there a little bit. Not quite as big as Bob's, but he's carrying 286 pounds, so I guess you need some pretty good foundation.
So LSU with a 12-point lead at the half, and now they've gone on an 8-1 run to start the second half. Notre Dame without a field goal here in the second half until that shot by Frederick.
It's available on that side. Robinson set the screen on Roberts.
One of the things with that 3, if you can get somebody on fire, climb back in pretty easily.
I've got Jackson being played one-on-one by Jameer Jackson. I think he can take him. Double low post offense, wearing him out inside. Good block out.
Taken away. Roberts to O'Neal. And he'll come up to the free throw line. Well, there was an opportunity for Notre Dame if they could have pulled that rebound away and come back down.
Brent, you made the point about my statement about these 2 big guys being the 2 best on the same team in college basketball history. Can you see Mutombo and Alonzo Mourning battling these guys hand-to-hand? Will that be something?
Would you take it in Denver on Monday night? Still a lot of basketball to be played. You know, what's interesting, Billy, all the great games we've had in the Final Four net, you know that only one team in this decade, and I think I'm right about this, I'll get a lot of mail if I'm not, only one team was ranked #1 coming into the tournament and won the championship. Do you
North
remember?
Carolina?
Yeah. Right here, and that was what, 82?
82, that's right.
when they beat Georgetown in what still stands as one of the great championship games ever played.
And you can see Dale Brown hadn't had to go to any junk defenses today. He started out with that 2-3 matchup. He played a little bit of junk in the beginning when he had Sims guarding LaFonso Ellis. But other than that, he's set right with that 2-3.
Now there's Robinson.
And Dale Brown, only time he had to get off the bench, he wanted O'Neal to front Robinson if he came over that way. Now they're setting a double low stack.
So there figures to be a new number 1 next week with Kansas losing for the first time. Robertson low.
Nice job by Ellis. On that double low stack. Oh, good steal.
LSU ball.
Fonzo Ellis upset with himself. He realized that he had underestimated Williamson coming back on that play. Trent, on this double low stack that they run, it allows Jackson to be one-on-one out top and get some solid screens. Real tough to handle him in this particular offensive set.
Robinson, let up! No shot! No shot!
Foul before the shot.
Going to say no shot.
Foul number 40, Jameer Jackson. His first.
Now, Chris is only 63 out of his last 65 from the foul line, so it's like automatic if he were to be put up there.
Knocked out of bounds by Notre Dame. LSU ball.
Pretty good idea by O'Neal, trying to slide it under there to Chris Jackson.
50-34. Tigers leading the Irish. 15 minutes to go here in regulation.
Now Jackson comes back, of course, one of the leading scorers in the nation last year, number 2. And this is the first time since '53 that the top 4 scorers in NCAA basketball have returned to action. Oh, that double low post just wearing them out inside to get the ball to anybody they want to.
No basket. Foul before the shot on Williams. That's his first personal of the game.
O'Neal just smiling. See, by playing behind these 2 big postmen and having to put so much pressure out front on Jackson, they just touch the ball anytime they want to down low.
Williamson. Well, if they're going to start the move, Frederick hangs in another one from the right baseline. Now it'll be up to the Notre Dame defense to get them back in this game. It's 50-36 LSU. Williamson coming through.
Really nice in there. They list him at 6 foot. Just barely 6 foot, but he can really knife into the basket well.
Remember last year when it was the Chris Jackson show? It is so much more of a team now.
Well, remember Mouton, that was his partner in the backcourt. He's left. He's playing baseball now for LSU. Lyle Mouton, but with Williamson, they've got a perfect man to match up with him.
Well, near the conclusion of the game, we'll select the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game for each team. And in their honor, Chevrolet will donate a $1,000 scholarship to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. That'll come up a little bit later this afternoon.
Now Dale goes to that bench with Singleton and Duvall coming back in, and he won't fall off a bit with this type of talent coming in here.
LSU calls a timeout. 52-36. Tigers with the lead. We'll be right back.
Dear Dad, I know you didn't want me to put off...
Shaquille O'Neal has really been the story for LSU, and the reason for that is that the team wisely has gone inside. 15 points, 11 rebounds, blocked 2 shots early on. Obviously playing extremely well. LaFonso Ellis, about the only story for Notre Dame, and he's got 3 rebounds with the 12 points. They've had no place to go, and Digger really struggling out here. You look at this club, and it's a culmination of a number of years of recruiting. He expected himself to have a real good club this year. He said when you have thoroughbreds, you let them play, and we've got thoroughbreds, but we haven't seen them out here today, and nor have the Notre Dame fans seen much of them so far this year. A little bit disappointing, to say the least.
52-37 after that free throw by Robinson.
Keith has had some big games, 11 for 11 free throws against BC, and as I said earlier today, he was 9 for 9 from the field against UCLA. Look at O'Neal. He gets rebounds where he is heads and shoulders above everybody else on the floor.
Freshman out of San Antonio, Texas.
Straight man-to-man again. Jackson on Jackson. Jackson can take him one-on-one if he gets the ball with the dribble, but they're still wanting to go inside. Nice defense by Joe Frederick.
Shaquille threw that ball just a little bit hard on a return to Williamson, and that's the 7th turnover, and Shaquille pats himself as he goes down the floor, telling his teammate that it was his fault.
Joe Frederick that time, the backdoor cut was set up, and he was really at the mercy of the offensive player. Did a real nice job getting his position around and knocked that off. Straight man-to-man by LSU. They don't do this often, certainly haven't in this game, but with a smaller lineup, they can afford to put pressure on him.
The 3 is short. He gets through O'Neal's legs. They battle to save it, but they're out of bounds on the far sideline. Notre Dame ball. Jameer
Jackson was saying that he was fouled, and I agree with him on that last jumper from the side. He's looking at a team that's shooting 54%, ranked up there 1-2 in the nation field goal shooting percentage, and today down in the 30s.
Ellis slipping, has to send it back outside.
This is the nice flexibility that LSU has. You know, they don't have to be just a zone team. They can go small and go out and play it.
Now Ellis backs his man in. Jump hook is swatted away by O'Neal. Digger wanted goaltending. Stolen back by Jackson. And Williams has it knocked free, and the foul is called.
Now there's a case. Shaquille will understand when he makes that big play not to put the ball on the floor for that second dribble and try to lead the break that way. By the time he was a junior or senior, and certainly by the time he goes up into the professional ranks, he'll be able to do it, but not yet.
Was it goaltending, Billy?
I didn't think so. I think, you know, he came out this time from the basket pretty close. And if you're not absolutely sure, you got to let the play go. Notre Dame really frustrated in terms of getting some offensive production.
There's O'Neal over his back, committing the personal foul, which is his 3rd. It's an interesting name, Shaquille, and I didn't really know what it meant until I came down here. It's a Muslim name, and Shaquille means, I guess if you translate it roughly, little one. But his middle name is Washington, and that translates into warrior, and I think that suits him a little bit better than little one.
Well, I wouldn't call him a little warrior.
No, he's one of the bigger warriors that we've encountered. Yeah, great future, doesn't he? Frederick looking to catch fire as a shooter. That's what Notre Dame needs right now. 2-on-1. Jackson and Williamson. Jackson gives it up, and the foul offense. He took it too deep.
Well, I like the way Williamson, and Jackson handled the ball on the break. This is the way to get it out and hit ahead to the first 3 man. Maurice hits. Chris gets it. I think he was moving it underneath. Play up on the screen. Particularly when it's against the home team.
You get booed twice.
That's right.
Frederick maintains control. Going down inside is Williams. Loose ball, LSU.
Monty Williams has to learn to pull up and take the jumper.
There he is out. Ellis away with the rebound. 52-37, LSU leading just inside of 12 minutes to go. Good pass back to Ellis, and he'll come to that free throw line. So Notre Dame starting to exert itself inside a little bit right now. If they can just find some shooters, Billy, they get back in this game.
Well, you know what? They're a relatively easy team to defense because with the exception of LaFonso Ellis, not too many, regardless of their position. And that's probably Digger's problem right now. He can't figure out where's the scoring come from on this club. Keith Robinson kind of is a role player type. Although he has good stats, he doesn't create a lot of offense for himself. Joe Frederick's a pretty good standstill shooter. But this young man is the only guy that outside the offense gets you some points. 15 double-double games last year as a freshman. Pretty good consistency. You know, the big battle for recruiting LaFonso Ellis was between Notre Dame and Illinois. Could you imagine him on that Illinois club in the middle with that great talent that they've got up there at every other position?
Beat Marcus Liberty of Illinois in a state high school championship game. They won back-to-back titles with these singles. Turnaround by Roberts is not there. Frederick with a rebound, and the Irish looking for a roll. 52-39 now at 11:30.
Stanley Roberts can make that shot. He's got the great turnaround jumper. Boy, Sims and battling in there with LaFonso Ellis.
And it goes against LSU.
Brent, you're going to be seeing a lot of great football bodies, but would Sims be one of those that could qualify as an NFL wide receiver type with that chest of his? Upper body strength.
Notre Dame is now in the bonus. At the line, shooting 1-1 for the Irish, number 20, LaFonso Ellis.
Last year in the NCAA tournament against Georgetown, 18 points, 10 rebounds. They played the second round of the NCAA tournament. Notre Dame played extremely well in that ball game. Beat Vandy to get in there. But it could be a struggle this year, as you point out that schedule. And you know, of all the schools in the country that you think about, Notre Dame is the one that thinks they have the most serious problems if they cut the schedule from 28 back to 25. Getting a schedule. Because the conference schools will have to pull back in the outside competition. They see Notre Dame drop from that role of the independents.
The lead is 12 again at 52-40. And the foul goes against Notre Dame's number 10, Singleton. His second.
Fouls number 10, Tim Singleton.
Timeout has been called by Dale Brown and LSU. And the CBS coverage of the NCAA basketball will continue after this word from your local station.
This is CBS.
Welcome back to the Superdome, where an attendance record has fallen today. Tickets sold for this game, a new NCAA record, 68,112, eclipsing last year's mark, and the crowd just now being informed. And they may be in for a good finish. We're going to see how Notre Dame, if they can keep it tightened down. Dale Brown chose that timeout to get into his players and said, get more aggressive. And right away, Stanley Roberts drops one in, and the lead goes back to 14. They had been passive for the last couple minutes and let the Irish scramble back to within 12. Now it is Robinson down on the inside, and he'll come to the free throw line.
And they go back to their 2-3 matchup defense. Get the lob that time over O'Neal. Again, one of the things that I think that LSU is in a position to do right now, up 14, I think for the next couple of minutes, they've been going inside all day. It's time to open up Chris Jackson. I think he's the kind of guy who can blow this game open by putting so much pressure on Notre Dame. But he's only taken 9 shots all day today. He's been very patient in the offense. But I think it's time now to turn him loose. Don't save him to the end in case you need it. That puts a lot of pressure on a guy who has been kind of relaxed. Only shooting 35%, but LSU holds teams down to 38% so far on the year, so it's a club that's used to this.
Keith Tower supporting back in, and Robertson sits down for Digger. Here's Jackson bringing the ball up now for Dale Brown. Williamson, Sims, O'Neal, and Roberts, and Jackson takes charge with the 3.
Digger went to the zone. Jackson shot right over it.
57-41 at the 10:30 mark. Nothing easy now. Tower not even looking for that shot.
He's got to be prepared to shoot that ball as he catches it, not afterwards.
Frederick will take the 3.
Line driver. Digger stays in the 2-3.
Sims.
Going to back up on that. What Digger did, he looked like a 2-3, but Singleton was playing Jackson man-to-man, so it's really a 1-3 type zone with a man-for-man on Jackson. Digger's thinking the same thing I am, that Jackson's ready to turn loose here.
Williams. Ellis with a great rebound underneath, but they rule it's a held ball. Notre Dame's possession error.
That hurt Digger there because he doesn't need to give up the arrow on a play where Alfonso Ellis has a dunk.
Oh, he really stepped inside and pulled down a rebound, big-time fashion. One of the better rebounders in college basketball. Having a strong second half for them.
Well, if he had played enough games so far this year, he'd be tied for the nation's rebounding lead at 13-8. So with a couple more games under his belt, he's going to be right up there in the NCAA statistics.
Singleton on the inside, gives it back, and Williams loses control, but tracks it down before it goes out of bounds.
Singleton has to look for some shots.
LSU, Williamson.
Boudreaux in the game, another one of those big players in the sophomore class for Dale Brown.
Stepping inside of Robinson and drawing the personal on Robinson, his fifth.
Foul by number 50, Robinson.
Is that his fifth, Brent? Really? Digger's been trying to save him. I didn't realize he fouled him up that quickly, but you're right. Fifth foul. And that really hurts, and the reason for that, obviously, he's had to lean all day on those two big men for LSU. That really hurts Notre Dame. Only 6 points by Keith Robinson today.
He leaves with a score of 59-44, 9:13 to go.
10 below his average.
So during that timeout, when Dale lit into his players a little bit, they've come out far more aggressively here, and it has gotten tough for the Irish. They lose Robinson. They do come up with a loose ball now. And this baby's going to be uphill against this LSU team. If it wasn't already. Williamson fouled. Frederick.
Maurice thought he had that one all the way.
Foul by number 10, Maurice Williamson. That's his first personal foul. End of the game for the Irish.
You know, Joe Frederick, always an Irish fan. A great story about his mother cleaning out his closet after he went to college and finding a group of autographs Frederick had signed by Kelly Tripucka and a number of former Notre Dame players. And right beside was his own autograph with the number of 4 on it. And he went to school at Notre Dame and obviously had to take number 3 because David Rivers had 4. But I guess he was a lock for recruiting for a long, long time.
Number 3, Joe Frederick.
Had some outstanding games. Buzzer shot, beat LaSalle 2 years ago. Big game against Duke as a sophomore with 23 points. Biggest game he had that year. As you said, they've got a road to hoe here. They stay right in that 12-13 point range. Easy, guys. Knock it off. Robert Hall. There's a soft touch coming across that lane. Again, back to that 2-3 matchup. Big team out there on the floor. No, he's got a box in one now. They're playing Fredericks. Williamson's playing Fredericks. Dale gives a lot of different looks.
Roberts rebound. Out to Jackson. O'Neal rebounding. And foul goes against the big man. His 4th.
Shaquille is just so strong, Brent. You know, Sweet was underneath him. It was a touch foul, but he's just so strong that they call it on him a lot. Watched the game against Vander Knight, and he fouled out of the ball game. 3 of them were really touch foul types.
Replacing number 10,
That last outlet pass by Stanley Roberts over the top of the defenders was excellent.
You know, one of the great scenes from this game, you know, Sonny Vaccaro has really done such a great job of helping get this fundraiser off the ground out here in New Orleans. He had the 3 referees out in the middle of the floor, and he wrote them a check. Right out here, he was pulling them right out of his checkbook and handed it to him. And the refs were laughing. It was pretty funny seeing.
You know, there's a tail to that story. One of the refs said to me, well, I told him it was Brent's check, and I said, yeah, but you better add some zeros to the back end of that baby.
Sweet. Free throw makes it 61-48. 8 minutes to go, and we'll be right back.
Yo!
Well, let's go up to Leslie Visser. Leslie?
That's right, Brent. I'm up here in the Bob Euchre territory. You know, back in 1982, these seats were stamped distant view, and they weren't kidding. Can you see me over here? They weren't kidding. These were the worst seats in the history of sport. Well, some of the folks here told me they came to make a little history and help the homeless, but I'm not kidding, Brent. From here, Stanley Roberts looks anemic.
A good line. I can assure you that he's not, Leslie. LSU bringing it down. She'll get back down by tomorrow. 61-48. LSU with the lead in the board. Here's O'Neal, Roberts' running mate. Foul against Tower. That's his third.
You know, both of these young postmen cause a problem. When you play right behind them, they're so strong that they can back you down under the basket. Then a little drop step move or the turn hook scores. If you play in front of them, obviously, which Notre Dame is not opt to do today, then they go for the lobs right over the top. Really tough to handle. Oh, Stanley's got that shot. I've watched him play a number of times, and he's got as good a turnaround jumper from that 10, 12-foot range as anybody in college basketball. LSU has to be aware of Frederick out here on his jump shot.
Notre Dame keeps possession. Billy, you know, the two teams were guaranteed $75,000 apiece from the gate in New Orleans here today, and then they'll share TV revenue, probably in excess of $100,000 a team. But the rest of this money, all of it, is going to charity. Like Sonny Vaccaro, he just contributed his time to this. He's not going to take salary off the top or anything. So this is a great fundraiser going on down here in New Orleans.
And the idea of expanding this, that every school in America would play one game and have that exempt from the schedule for charities in their local communities, is a great idea in my mind.
Roberts muscling that rebound away. How would you like the duel, Roberts and O'Neal? Man, would that be tough on the inside?
I thought Stanley was going to pull up for that jumper. Team's dominated.
Stuffed inside with pressure. Big time move.
This team is to be reckoned with in March, folks. They have got some players. Ellis is a player, too.
Tough shot. He had to pull that back behind his head to get it off. Roberts reminds me of Bob Lanier. He didn't have all the stuff that Lanier had at this stage, but he could get it.
Doesn't have that running hook shot.
Doesn't have the hook, but he's got a lot of other things. He's got the great soft hands.
Here he comes again, looking for something.
Oh, look at that pass to Jackson. And Chris Jackson, you know, he can make a living just cutting off these fellas. He hadn't had his jumper going today because he's been well played on the outside by Notre Dame, but he hadn't forced anything either.
I think the only thing that'll hurt LSU the rest of the way, Billy, is going to be those stretches where they lose concentration. They get forward. They got nothing but talent. Here comes Williamson.
He was looking to dunk that over Frederick. Here's what Dale Brown asked him to do, and he told his club, hey, you can't play not to lose here. Let's just go out and try to blow this one open.
Up by 19 at 5:44, Billy.
And he's got the weapons.
Oh, the holdup right now is the water is starting to drip again.
I think you're wondering if you can call it a no contest. You heard Dale Brown say, stay in the 2-3 matchup and don't back off on Frederick. He called him number 3, but that's who he's referring to, obviously.
LSU.
Yeah, I like the fact that LaFonso Ellis is still wanting that ball on the inside. He's played extremely well today under adverse conditions for him. It's been a big day in college, or could be a big night in college basketball tonight. We talked about a lot of the big games, but big house games. My hometown in Winston-Salem is going for number 800.
Great start.
800 wins. Many more years potentially to coach. Tremendous story and a real credit to basketball. It'll be interesting to to see a great moment, and then down the road the other night in Greensboro, North Carolina, with that tragic fight. Thing got to be a little scary.
Yeah, that one was nasty.
Yes, it was. No place for that in the game. Notre Dame still down in the 35 percentile range. They go to a little half-court 1-2-2 trap. Digger's got to try anything he can to get back in this game. It could get ugly here if Jackson gets the ball in his hands and starts going inside and then dishing off at the end to a guy like Stanley Roberts for the dunk. Well, it wasn't Jackson and it wasn't a dunk, but that was the theme.
That's 18. Stanley Roberts.
He'll continue the great stats.
Jackson hits the tray.
They stay in the 1-2-2 trap. Watch Jackson try to beat Singleton by himself.
Sims.
Well, for a big man, he has a soft shot.
He's a team that features a soft touch.
Yes, he does. With big people. Second time he's tried that shot. Off to the races.
The lob. Oh, beautiful body. William just couldn't roll it in.
Chris Jackson at 5'9", age 13, dunked for the first time, so they give you an idea how he can get off the ground. Trying to be too cute.
There's an open man. And not a good pass. LSU's ball. Got to take another look at Chris Jackson here on this Williamson pass.
Well, Maurice, he grabs it, almost lays it in there soft. Pretty good defense by Singleton. Made that pass a little tougher than expected.
The ball, he was shocked he was all alone. Then clunked it off the rim underhanded.
Well, if you're LSU, you know, up 18, you can try to make some wild plays at this point in the game.
Yeah, play a little one-on-one.
Yeah,
Have some
go.
fun. Here they come. Oh, stolen by Singleton, and Dale's upset about that.
Stanley blocked it on the way down.
This is like those lunch games at the YMCA when you choose up sides, you know, and you just play away. We're at the Louisiana Superdome in New Orleans, and with Leslie Visser and Billy Packer, I'm Brent Musburger. In case you just turned on your set expecting some local or network news, that'll be coming your way when we get finished with this game. Give you an update on what happened. Kansas losing for the first time this afternoon to Missouri. 95-87 was the final. So Georgetown, well, could wind up #1. We'll see how the voters come through over the weekend. Ball's knocked out of bounds and goes over to LSU. Billy Packer, 73-55. LSU pretty much has had it their way against.
They have superior talent, playing good, solid basketball game. Good inside and outside. Trying to get too cute now and stepped out of bounds at Singleton. You know, Brent, you me, they're for real. There's not many people go into Columbia, Missouri, and play Missouri to that kind of a game.
Stolen by Ellis of Notre Dame, and this is Jackson, and he's fouled by Boudreau at the 3-minute mark. I'll remind everybody of our Sunday lineup. Great NBA doubleheader coming your way. Lakers and the Pistons, followed by the Knicks and the Bulls. And then when the basketball action is over, join Sports Sunday for the old Madden team. We've got a timeout at the Superdome. It's 73-55 LSU, and we'll be right back.
At BA. The big horses right there.
Well, you can see that he's wanting to stay going inside. They've powered inside against Notre Dame all day long and have been very effective with it. Hasn't given the fans a chance to see Chris Jackson explode for one of those 40-point games, but effectively put away Notre Dame.
How much is it going to help Jackson having another guard like Williamson on the floor?
It's great in every respect. Number one, it takes some of the ball handling pressure away. If at any time he needed to go for a rest, Dale can go in that regard. So great matchup. And these two guys, as I said, one player of the week in the SEC last week, one rookie of the week.
Against the Notre Dame press, Williamson bringing it up. Lob to
no basket. No basket. He hung on the rim before,
before it counted.
Well, we'll see that one again before this game is over. Now,
let's take a look right now. Now, you say he's up on his basket.
I say he grabs the rim before he scores.
He had the ball with his...
No question.
He had the ball with his right hand.
I understand,
Billy,
but watch his left hand. His left hand
watch
has
his right
the rim.
hand.
Watch his left hand. His left hand's got the rim.
Yeah, but he's already hit the ball. He's already hit the ball. He wasn't on before. Oh, good call. He wasn't. 2-on-1. Jackson back.
He's fired up.
2:22 to go. 75-59. Here's Chris.
Count it.
Hey, they may have some trouble finding empty seats over there in Baton Rouge with this.
I want to see Ed's sights on that last one. I'll tell you what, I've never seen this happen before where a guy actually...
Now, what's the right hand?
Yeah, but forget it. He pulls the rim down with his left hand before the shot goes in.
Yeah, it's before it went in. There's no question. No question. Before the ball went in, you're right.
Yep.
But not before he touched it.
Oh, no, not before he touched it. Well, why not do this? Why not grab the ball, pull the rim down, throw it through? 3.
Jackson nails it for Notre Dame inside of 2 minutes.
And they go full court pressure. And what LSU wants to do here, obviously the game is won. They want to start looking better. Be a little bit smoother against this. This lob will be smooth. This lob will be smooth.
I'd say go stick it away.
LaFonso thought he wanted to protect against the lob to O'Neal and gave up the layup.
Oh, Chris is hit in the face by Jackson accidentally.
But what we're seeing LSU do now is something I think they can do effectively all year long, and that is this. In order to, we'll see him get hit in the face right here, Jackson to Jackson, right across the cheek. But what I think LSU is going to be able to do as an offensive weapon, almost part of an offense within itself, teams will have to send 4 and 5 men to the boards because of these two great big inside men. I think LSU can run their guards long and really turn it into an offense because Jackson and Williamson in the open court are great.
How do Roberts and O'Neal run the floor, Billy, in your opinion, as big men?
O'Neal runs the floor very well. I think Roberts not quite as well, but O'Neal is he's got a little bit of Elijah in him in terms of how he can get up and down the floor. And Mutombo, going back to your reference earlier in the game, Mutombo runs the floor as well as any of them.
Wouldn't you like to see Georgetown and LSU meet? Nothing easy against this defense at LSU. Ball knocked free.
Big guys going for blood. They want some lob passes. One of them wants a big dunk shot before they have to make an exit.
And Jackson is fouled. Well, 8 days from now, this building will be rocking again for Super Bowl 24. San Francisco 49ers trying to become the first team since the great Pittsburgh Steelers of 1979 and 80 to win back-to-back Super Bowls. And trying to stop them will be the Denver Broncos and John Elway. Our coverage a week from tomorrow starts at 3 p.m. Eastern Time with the Super Bowl today.
Comes Mr. Automatic. Now, Brent, whenever you do games involving LSU, you start thinking about high scores. You've got this year Bo Kimball leading the nation in scoring. Could be the first time in NCAA history that 2 players from the same team, 2 different players, back-to-back win the nation's scoring title. Hank Gathers, of course, winning it last year. And one thing I came across is interesting. Only one time in the history of the NCAA tournament has a player led the nation in scoring and played on the national championship team.
Who was that?
Lavella.
Clyde Lavella. Oh, what a sweeping hook shot he had.
Right.
O'Neal and Chris Jackson leave to a thunderous ovation here. And you can see in the background some of this record crowd beginning to file out. LSU ball with 12 and 2.
There's a pair of bookends for you.
Jackson. Singleton runs down to miss 3. And still won't stay in. And Boudreaux finally puts it back in. His time runs out, and LSU wins easily. 87-64. And our Chevrolet Players of the